quick recipe today because the other day when I did the enchilada live, I got a lot of questions about the silken tofu dips and such. I'm gonna show you how quick it comes together. I'm gonna get one of my tofu's packs. I keep dozens of these in my pantry. This is the Extra Firm Silken Tofu. You want to use a silken tofu. I'll put it right here. Let's make sure you can see it. You want to use a silken tofu that is silken. Make sure you don't make the mistake of grabbing the spongy looking ones that have a little bit of holes in them. And they, to me, feel more spongy until you put sauces and such in them. This silken tofu, you can use to make sauces. You can put it in creams. You can make cream spaghetti sauce. You can make dips. You can make savory dips. You can make sweet dips. You can thicken things. So I'm gonna open one of these and I'm going to make a chocolate pudding because I made myself some vanilla puddings in my little pudding jars that I have. And I didn't make Jay any chocolate pudding ones. And he was like, how come I don't get my favorite flavor? So I'm gonna make him some chocolate ones. I keep them in a row in the refrigerator to grab and go. We treat them as a dessert, but you could use it as breakfast. And I'm actually gonna have this one for breakfast with some of my homemade granola. I'll put the recipe links to all the things that I have recipes for. So I have my granola. It's just out of the Be a Plant-Based Woman Warrior by Jane and Ann Esselstyn. My sister tweaked it some and then she shared it with me and I make it the way that my sister makes it. So I'll put the link of how I make it, but you guys can find it in your Be a Plant-Based Woman Warrior cookbook if you have it. So I made a batch of this yesterday because we had run out, and I'm gonna put some into my silken vanilla coconut yogurt that I made yesterday. I'm actually cooking in the Instant Pot some potatoes, and I love steaming my potatoes. I have a ton of them. Sorry that it's beeping. I think it's gonna stop here in a second. Yep, now it's gonna go to natural release. So I take my sweet potatoes and I cut them in half and I stick them in the Instant Pot, and I set the Instant Pot on pressure for 12 or 13 minutes, and I just put a cup full of water and raise the potatoes on a rack, and they steam perfectly. And then I take those potatoes unpeeled and I throw them in a bag and I keep them in my refrigerator, and I can either mash it and fill it with beans or whatever I want to. I can cut them up and dice them and use them in salads, or my favorite current method is I peel them and I take the skins and I stick them in the air fryer and I make skin chips. No recipe to it, just throw the skin chips in the air fryer and set it for a couple of minutes and watch it and toss it. When they're crispy the way that you like, they're done. You can toss them in spices after they come out, like nooch or a blend of a garlic blend or something like that. The actual potatoes, I peel them and I slice them into rounds, and then I crisp them up in the air fryer, and that is when I'm gonna use my tofu dips. So that I'm gonna show you how to make some savory tofu dips. So let's start with, let's see which one's easier. Let's start with the, since I have this on this side, we will start, it's kind of hard to open up. I'm gonna get a scissor instead. So it's kind of hard to open these little containers. If you buy the ones that do have to be refrigerated, I just kind of pop a knife in them, and then I drain them really well, and then I take the block of tofu out. So this is silken tofu. It doesn't have any water in it because it's Tetra Pak. It just has a tiny bit of water. You can drain it. I don't drain it. I take whatever lazy method I can do when I'm cooking because I want all this stuff to be quick. Nobody has time to do that. Some people will take the silken tofu and they will actually set it in a tea cloth or a kitchen towel overnight to dry it even further to make a fudgy chocolate pudding. So his is going to be just like a regular chocolate pudding, like if you've ever had a Jello chocolate pudding, that's kind of what it would be like. But first we're gonna start with one block of the silken tofu. And this one, I'm going to make savory. And I'm gonna show you how easy it is. I have some green onions that we cut up the other day. This is Jay's job. He cleans the green onions and he always has them all cut up for us because we love to top our bowls or just whatever we had the other day. We topped the enchilada with this. So this is our chopped green onions. I'm gonna put some chopped green onions in here. And then you are gonna use whatever spices you have. I'm going to use salt-free seasoning, garlic and herb seasoning. I'm going to use some dried shallot. You can use dried onion and some Trader Joe's 21 Salute and some dill. So the dill's gonna give it a little bit of tartness or a little lemony flavor, kind of like, and remember you guys, my recipes are easy recipes. Just toss in a little bit of the herbs and taste and try it and then adjust it. I usually like to take the tops off. And then adjust it to your flavor. So this is going to be a little bit of tzatziki flavoring. I actually wanted to make a tzatziki, but I've been busy and haven't gone to the grocery store, so we have no cucumbers. Because if I was making a tzatziki, I would take a cucumber, I would grate it, I would squeeze all the water out, and I would add it to this. And then I would add some fresh shallot, maybe some grated fresh garlic, all of which I don't have right now. So you just use what you have. You can make it in any flavor. If you have an onion herb, not a garlic herb, but an onion herb, you can make an onion flavored dip. So I'm going to blend it. This is gonna make a little bit of a noise. And I'm gonna stop and then just readjust, and that's it. So this is it. I'm gonna taste it. If I need to thin it out a little bit, I'll tell you the choices that I use. I always keep aquafaba in the fridge. Aquafaba is the liquid from the can of a chickpea or the liquid from when you cook chickpeas in a pot or a pressure cooker or an Instant Pot. Save that liquid. You can even use that liquid to make whipped cream. Aquafaba whipped cream. It sounds weird, but it's delicious. I tried it. I thought it was weird. Took me the longest time to be brave enough to try it because I was like, no way, and it's actually pretty good. So I'm gonna whip it just a little bit more. I'm not gonna thin it because I like a thick dip. So that is it. So I had already made some dip yesterday because my friend Pam came over. She's one of our foodies as well on our page. And I gave her some of the enchilada that I made the other day, and we were having sliced potatoes for dinner, and I was doing the silken tofu dip. I'm actually gonna use a separate little bowl. I'll use this one. I was going to mix them, but I'm just gonna finish this one off. This is the same type of dip as this one, except I probably threw in some other herbs in here, because it's whatever you feel like at the time. So this one is, I don't know if you can see the difference. This one's a little creamier tan, and this one is more white. And if you were to grate some cucumber in here, like I said, you can turn it into a tzatziki. I'm going to taste it before I commit. Okay, I'm gonna add some flavoring, because it's a little bland, and since we don't put salt in it, do as many of the herbs as you would like to get it to, this machine, sometimes I can't get it to close right. My other little machine died, and I got this machine and I love it, but we have a love-hate relationship because I miss my other one. So I'm gonna put some more of the 21, Trader Joe's 21 Salute, and I'm gonna put a little bit more of the dill herb. And if you wanted to, you could put a dash of lemon, you could put a dash of one of the vinegars in here. I'm just gonna keep it plain because sometimes we like dusting it at the end with a little bit of lemon. We'll squeeze lemon, or we'll dust it with sumac or other things. So that's it. Taste and adjust. Let's see if I got the machine to hook up. Oh my goodness. All right. Engaging it is such an issue. Let's see. If anybody has one that is like super easy, tell me, because this one, I love it, but if it doesn't engage, it just won't do it. And it won't do it. How come? Maybe? Maybe? Okay. Okay, you guys are gonna just watch me struggle. And I'm gonna make a mess. But that's okay, I'm determined. I'm determined to get it in here. Come on. Oh, there it goes. My other one was so much easier. I do love that this one, the water, my other one was so little that when I made a dip, the dip would go into the thing and sometimes flow on my countertop. They all have some issues. All right. So it should be herby enough to quit. And like I said, when you go serve it, then you can put some more herbs on top. And you can even change the flavoring up a little. If we go to the store, I'll probably end up getting, let me use a clean spoon. I'll probably end up getting some cucumber and then I'll add it to it. Okay, that's good. So I'm just gonna put it in my little bowl and then we're gonna make the chocolate pudding. Save some of this. And I actually might go, when I go to the store, I might go ahead and get the cucumbers. And then some, today we can eat just with the potatoes, sliced up, steamed, and toasted. So once you get your potatoes steamed and you peel them and slice them up, you stick them in the air fryer. And I do about 20 minutes. And I keep shaking them every so often just to get them brown on all sides. And then I check them and I get them the toastedness that I want, the color that I want. I like them crispier, but I don't like them so thin. So this goes in here, in my mess that I always have. So here's our tzatziki without the cucumber dip. So now we're going to do, and I'm going to give Jay some because I think he's outside. They're doing some repairs on our house and he's outside and I'm sure he's gonna come in, and I don't think he even, I saw that he left his head bowl. He made himself a head bowl salad somewhere, and it's not gonna be, it's gonna be a warm temperature salad, so because he left it on the counter because they're outside repairing something. So he will probably come in and do a drive-by in the refrigerator and try to find something, and so this will be there. So, and I've already got some veggies. You can put it just like a dip. You could serve this to anybody that comes over to your house and then just taste it and make sure that you've got the flavors. Like if you don't like any of the things that I use, like the dill and such, then don't use it. Don't worry about it. So then let's do the chocolate one. So we have to open this one too. And for this one, I have the soy milk out just in case we need it. We might not. It depends on how thick. And I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to use the hand blender for this one. I could just wash the little machine, but I'm going to go ahead and use the hand blender. I used the hand blender yesterday for mine, and it came out kind of like with airy pockets, and I liked it, so I'm going to try that. Hopefully I don't make a mess. All right. I always somehow get dirty when I'm doing this hand blender. If you don't have a hand blender, use the little mini processor. If you don't have a mini processor, use the big processor. If you don't have the big processor, use a blender. like a ninja or a regular blender. You could even use your smoothie drink cup maker thingies. You know those smoothie drink cups that you can put on the blender machines nowadays? You could use that. Okay, so this is gonna be very thick right now. So I have all the extracts, like I've told you guys. I have chocolate extract, and I'm gonna put about a teaspoon in here. And that smells good. Okay, so chocolate extract is gonna go in here. That's why I'm not starting with my milk, thinning it out. I'm gonna eyeball the thickness that I want. The extract is going to thin it out, so is the maple syrup. If you don't like maple syrup, use honey. If you don't like honey, use dates that you've steeped in water, and then you blend them before the silken tofu. Then you put the silken tofu in, then you add your cacao, because we're gonna put cacao, which is the chocolate taste of it. One day I'm gonna get covered with you guys on camera. Okay, so I'm just doing 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. One of our members, Donna. Oh, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. I didn't even put my microphone on so that you could hear me better because the camera is all the way over there. I hope you guys are hearing me okay. So about 1.5 tablespoons of the cacao. We're gonna see how it goes, and if I need more, I'll put more in. Woo, hopefully this doesn't fly. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. The chocolate in here. We've got the chocolate extract. You can put vanilla if you don't have chocolate extract. Not everybody does. And I might leave it thick because Jay likes it kind of creamy thick. And then I'm gonna adjust. So I'm gonna put a tiny bit more maple syrup. If you use agave, you could also put agave, like a light agave, which is not so strong flavored. I'm gonna put another tablespoon. I put about half a tablespoon. I'm gonna put a tiny bit more. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of the cacao. And then I have some chocolate chips that do not have oil and do not have sugar added to them. And they're 60% cacao. They don't have any oils and such. So you can look in your grocery store or a market or a farmer's market. I got them at a farmer's market from a chocolate vendor. If you guys can find them at your store, I put them in each little pudding. I have these little jars that I like for my puddings because they have lids on them. I'm gonna make sure these spoons are dirty. Let me get another spoon. I don't even like chocolate. I like making it for him, but I don't love chocolate, but I like these puddings because they're mild and it doesn't. Now the Jell-O ones would taste chemical to us because the Jell-O ones have so many chemicals on them. So this tastes real. You can taste the cacao, you can taste the chocolate, you can taste the sweetener that you use. Another thing that you could use is banana. If you use banana, I would say go ahead and eat it that same day or make it that same day. This is only gonna be 4 portions of the, it's only going to be 4 portions of the pudding because I used one of these little packs, and one of these little packs has 3.5 servings. So I could go ahead and my little jars are a little hard to get into when it's more pourable. It's easier, but I'm just gonna use a spoon. So don't give yourself a huge portion. You will regret it. And you will remember me if you have a giant portion, because tofu is deceiving. When you're eating silken tofu or something like that, that's made out of tofu, that has protein in it, it's deceiving. It's going to fill you up a lot, and you're not gonna know it, and you're gonna be munching along. It happened to me the other day when I was preparing for my colonoscopy. I ate an entire block of tofu, and a block, I believe, also has 3.5 servings. I ate the entire block, and I was so stuffed. And one of the things that I love about this lifestyle is that you're never stuffed. So I was uncomfortably stuffed. So watch the protein. I don't have any more of my other little jars, so I'm gonna use those little shot glasses, which actually are dessert glasses that my girlfriends, I used to live in Atlanta, in the Milton area. Shout out to all my Miltonians up there, and in the Alpharetta area. I used to live up there, and my girlfriends knew how much I love to cook and do dinner parties and such, so they all gave me all the stuff that I can use in my kitchen. They gave me creme brulee torches and dessert shot glasses in all color, shapes, and sizes. So believe me, if you looked at all the things that I have in my kitchen, you'd think that 40 people live here and that we have a dinner party every day. But I do try to use it all, even if it's just for 2 of us. Okay, so this one makes 4 little portions, and like I said, these are pretty rich. When you go eat it, you can put a little bit of granola on top, or you can put the little chocolate chips. I might not even hide them. I might just put the 3 little chocolate chips on top. That's why we treat it like a dessert, because we are putting the chocolate chips on it. And but you could use this as a spread on top of waffles, my banana waffles. I think there's a recipe on the page. Or you could put it on bread, toasted bread. If it doesn't have the chocolate on it, actually the chocolate melted on the bread with the silken tofu pudding would be yummy too. So there they are. There's my little desserts. I'll try to show them to you. So all of this is going in the fridge. So now we have 4 little desserts. Let's see if I can give you a close-up. So now we have 4 little chocolate pudding desserts. And we have the tzatziki, which is gonna get its lid on it, and it's going to stay in the fridge. We can eat it with vegetables, like Jay's gonna have it, or we can eat it on bread, or we can eat it on a falafel. Sometimes I make waffles that are waffles with the falafel waffle, but I call them waffles. The recipe's on the page. Here's the other tzatziki with the veggies. And then yesterday, I took the same tzatziki and I mixed it with the bottoms of the mushrooms and kale. And this stuffed our mushrooms for dinner. So I took this that had the bottoms of the mushrooms in it, put it in my little processor, and I just put a handful of kale, processed it in my little processor, and then I went ahead and stuffed the mushrooms and stuck them in the oven until they were just heated through, dusted them with nooch so they would get a little golden on top, and there was dinner because it was silken tofu with mushrooms. We had a smoothie, we had the potatoes with a soy yogurt because I also had a soy yogurt tzatziki yesterday, And so we did the soy yogurt tzatziki, and Pam joined us. We did soy yogurt tzatziki on top of the toasted potatoes. We did the kale mushroom stuffing into mushrooms, which is tofu. So you just think you're having all these delicious appetizers, and it was dinner. By the time we had 5 or 6 mushrooms and some potatoes with the dip and the smoothie, we were stuffed. So that's it, guys. I'll cut it off so that it's not too horribly lengthy. Bye.